Yeah. So today the topic that we are going to deeply understand is on faith. Okay, in the Sunday school today, we will be uh, trying to understand what faith is. Can any one of you tell what is your understanding on faith? Say Anish, Anshika or Tanisha, anybody. You can lift your hand if you want to say. I will unmute or you can unmute yourself if you want. Yeah. Nobody want to say what is faith according to you? Hanshita, Tanisha, Geeta, Supreet, Advait. Nobody? Can you on your videos? Let me see. All of you. Yeah. Kartika. Yes, I can only see two videos on Kartika and only one now. Okay. Advik. Okay, Advik was also on. Yes. Can you tell what is faith according to you? What do you understand by faith? Any one of you? Yes, Advik, what is faith according to you?
I think it's faith means believe.
It is
Believe.
belief. Okay, good. Kartika?
I think faith might be believing in yourself or someone else.
Okay. Anybody else? Any other answer? Faith is having confidence on someone. Okay. So here we are talking about here that someone or whom we are talking about is Lord Krishna, or we are talking about the God Himself. Okay, whomever we believe the God is. Okay, having faith. Okay, even at home you have faith on your parents. Okay, you say someone very close to you. Okay, you always have belief or faith in them that they will always do good to you. Okay, or I am safe in their hands. Okay, that is faith. Okay, so here we are talking about faith on God. Okay, yes. Anybody who can recite the shloka would want to? I want volunteers. You should volunteer. Kartika, you want to volunteer?
I don't really know the sloka.
Okay, can you read? Okay. Anybody else? Good one. Tanisha has raised her hand. Yes. Tanish. Sorry, Tanish.
Shraddhaval.
Shraddhavan labhate jnanam. Yeah, you can recite after me. Shraddhavan labhate jnanam. Shraddhavan
Shraddhavan.
labhate jnanam.
Lavadhe nanya.
Tatparaha
Tatparaha.
samyatindriyaha.
Samyate.
Samyatindriyaha. Yatindriyaha. यतीन्द्रियः ज्ञानं लब्ध्वा परं शान्तिम् अचेन्द्रिय आदि गच्छति. Yes, all of you recite along with me the line. Unmute yourself, all of you. Shraddhavan labhate jnanam tadparha samyatindriyah ज्ञानं लब्ध्वा परं शान्तिम् अचेन्द्री अचेन्द्रीनाधिगच्छति. Yes, all of you recite, unmute yourself. Unmute yourself and recite with me. Shraddhavan labate jnanam tatparaha samyatindriyaha jnanam labatva param shantim achendri adigacchati. Yes, Hanshita, Tanish, recite. Hanshita, Geeta, Supreet. Shraddhavan labate jnanam.
Shraddhavan
Labate
labate
jnanam
jnanam
tatparaha
tatparaha
sam
sam
yatindriyaha
yatindriyaha
jnanam labadva
labadva
jnanam labadva param
param
shantim
santim
achiren
achiren
adi gacchati.
gacchati
Achiren adi gacchati.
achiren adi gacchati.
Yeah. Yes. Hanshita. Unmute yourself. Geeta. Yes. Hanshita.
Hare Krishna.
Shraddhavan labate jnanam.
Shraddhavan labate jnanam
Tatparaha
tatparaha
samyatindriyaha
sam
yatindriyaha
yatindriyaha
jnanam labadva
jnanam
labadva param shantim achiren adi gacchati. Yeah, very good. Supreet, unmute yourself.
Yes.
Yes.
Shraddhaval labate jnanam tatparaha samyatendriyaha jnananam labdva param shantim achirenda jigat gachiti.
Yeah, very good. Then why you are not volunteering? Yoshita, recite. Yoshita Singh. Krishit. Yeah, Yoshita, do.
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah, recite. Shraddhavan labate jnanam.
Shraddhavan labate jnanam
Tatparaha samyatindriyaha.
tatparaha samyatindriyaha
Yatindriyaha. Jnanam labadva param shantim.
jnanam labah param shantim
Labadva
labadva
param shantim. Achiren adi gacchati. Yeah. Advik. Yes, Advik.
Hello.
Yeah. You can do. Shraddhavan labate jnanam.
Shraddhavan
Labate jnanam.
labate
Jnanam. Tatparaha samyatindriyaha.
tatparaha samyatindriyaha
Jnanam labadva param shantim. Jnanam labadva param shantim. Labadva param shantim. Achiren adi gacchati. Yeah, very good. Okay, so let's see what is the meaning of the shloka. Okay, yes, yes. Yoshita, read the text.
Now can you hear me?
Yeah,
Ma'am,
yeah. Read.
a faithful man who is dedicated to transcendental knowledge and who subverts his senses is eligible to achieve such knowledge and have achieved it. He quickly attains the supreme spiritual peace.
Yeah. So the meaning of the shloka 4.39 is, this is from Bhagavad Gita chapter 4 and the 39th shloka. Okay. So the meaning is, a faithful man who is dedicated to transcendental knowledge and who subdues his senses is eligible to achieve such knowledge. And having achieved it, he quickly attains the supreme spiritual peace. Okay. So one who um, uh, I mean, a faithful man, one who has lot of faith. Okay, he's has confidence, who has confidence in the God. Okay, and who believes that God can do everything. And I have to go back to Him for all my problems. I have to go back for Him for all my happiness. I have to pay gratitude to Him for all my happiness and for all that good happening to me. Okay, so he is a faithful man. He is called as a faithful man. Okay, one who keeps on going back to the God, or has a confidence in the God and goes back to Him every time. Who is dedicated to the transcendental knowledge and who subdues his senses is eligible. And it's not going back to God only, but you have to have a control of your senses also. Okay, that is, I should have control on my eyes, I should have control on my ears, I should have control on my mouth, I should have control on my tongue, everything. Okay, he is called, he who subdues his senses. Okay, he is eligible to achieve such knowledge. And having achieved it, he quickly attains the supreme spiritual peace. So one who gains control of his mind and who gains control of his body and who gains control of his senses, he is the one who will be able to achieve the supreme, and he will also end up being peaceful. Okay, so why is that? Yes, Yoshita, can you read the slide?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, read.
Knowledge in Krishna consciousness can be achieved by a faithful person who believes firmly in Krishna.
Yeah, second line.
Simply by acting in Krishna consciousness, he can attain the highest perfection. Faith is attained by the discharge of devotional service and by chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, which cleans one's heart of material dirt. One should control the senses.
Yeah. Okay. So how do you gain control of your senses? How do I say, how do I control my mind? How do I control my eyes? How do I control my nose? How do I control my ears, my mouth, my tongue? Okay. Because I hear good and bad thing. Okay. And then by my hearing, I have some thoughts that will be developed. And by my thoughts, I end up doing, my thought will lead to my actions. So I should have control on my ears, what to hear. You have seen, right? The three monkeys. One closes his ears, one closes his eyes, and the other closes his mouth, right? So it's that way. Okay, why that symbol is means that you have to have control. What you should be hearing only you should hear. What you should be seeing only you should see, and what you are supposed to be speaking only you have to speak. That you, it's not that when you speak something, somebody should be happy to you, listen to you again and again. Okay, you should speak such a way that somebody is ready to listen to what you talk. Okay, they are happy by a conversation with you. And when you hear, you should always hear good things, so that it will always encourage good thought in you, and that good thought will always make you do a good action. Okay, and even when you see, okay, you should always try to see the positive things in everything. Okay, that is what Krishna, or how this can happen. This cannot simply happen. Okay, I see, because my mind gets distracted, my eyes gets distracted. I want all beautiful things for me. I don't want anything not nice for me. I always want to eat something which I can relish. Okay, I am not ready to eat something which is bitter. I don't want to eat something which is too salty, right? I want something very nice that will taste my, I mean, that gives good taste to my tongue. Okay, but I should say, for example, if I get something which I don't like, okay, and then on that day I don't want to eat, right? But for that I cannot starve, right? Because I'm not getting what I eat. Okay, so I should have a control. Okay, we should reach a stage where we say it's okay, this is what Krishna has, or this is the prasadam that I'm getting for today. So let me be happy with you. Okay, that your mind should be able to tell you that. Okay, so how is that possible? That is possible only by knowledge. Okay, this can happen by the knowledge you have in Krishna consciousness, or by having faith in Krishna. You believe in him, and then you start acting accordingly. Okay, so knowledge in Krishna consciousness can be achieved by a fourth faithful person who believes firmly in Krishna. So you should have the belief in the Lord, okay, the God whom you have belief in. Okay, and simply by acting in Krishna consciousness, he can attain the highest perfection. Okay, just by reciting his name, he gives you the full consciousness to achieve the highest perfection. And faith is attained by the discharge of devotional service. Okay, when you say devotional service, there are nine different types of devotional service. I hope all of you have attended the Bhagavad Gita class. Yes, sir, right? Advait, you have attended the 18 days course? Yes. Okay, can you tell me at least one kind of devotional service? Any one kind of
Shravanam,
devotional service? Huh?
Shravanam, Kirtanam,
Shravanam, very good, very good. Shravanam, Kirtanam. Then what else?
Shravanam,
Dhasyam.
Kirtanam,
Das-
Parasrivanam,
Yeah,
Archanam,
yeah,
Sakyam,
yeah.
um, I'm thinking.
Sakyam, yes, very good.
Dasyam.
Dasyam, very good, very good. All of you are, yes, very good. Okay, so you know, okay, so these are all so faith is attained by the discharge of devotional service and by chanting. Okay, so one of the easiest way, okay, one of the easiest way the Prabhupada has taught is, or Lord Chaitanya has, who was the incarnation of Lord Krishna. Okay, he has taught us is by chanting the holy name. Okay, by just telling, you don't have to say here. Shravanam means hearing the glories of the Lord, and then Kirtanam is singing the glories of the Lord. Okay, so he says, so even if you don't know to sing, even if you don't know to recite, if you don't know anything, okay, you just simply say, call out for his name. Okay, he appears in front of you, or he is fully, he will attend to you. Okay, so faith is attained. Okay, but when you call out his name, it should be with full faith. Okay, you say that I believe your soul should be purified, your heart should be, with the real sense you have to call him. Okay, the complete faith of surrendering should be within you. So faith is attained by the discharge of devotional service and by chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. By just chanting this name, you can cleanse your heart, okay, with all the material dirt. What is the material dirt? That you get distracted. Okay, this is what we are carrying is the material body. Okay, because we are made up of the 5 different elements. Okay, that belongs to the earth, and then we why it is called as the material world, because desires are there, anger is there, fear is there, anxiety is there, there's a lot of confusion is there, ignorance is there, half knowledge is there. Okay, so we have so much around us, and that's why it is called as the material body. Because of the desire, you get distracted, you get you want a lot of things in life, you're not happy with what you have today, you want to have something more and more and more every time. Okay, so that's why it is called as the material body. But and one should control of the, and why this desire and all this happen, I fear, anger, ignorance, all these are happening because you have no control on your senses. That is the reason why it happens. Okay, yeah, so let's see one story on faith here. What is that? Okay, yes, I want one of you, Krish. Yeah, Krish, read the slide. Krish, you are there?
Can
Yeah,
I?
yeah.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Krish is there. Yes, let him read. Next slide. I'll give chance to everybody. Yes, read the story.
Once on the bank of a river, there lived a very famous and learned Pandit. Villagers would come to him to seek guidance and blessings.
Yeah, next.
Excellent. Your explanation of Vedanta Sutra is perfect. You're the greatest and most learned. Thank you.
Yeah, good. So he says one of the so today let's see, it is about this Brahmin Pandit. Okay, so once on a bank of river there lived a very famous learned Panditji. Villagers would come to him to seek guidance and blessings. Excellent. Your explanation of Vedanta Sutra is perfect. You are the greatest and the most learned. Okay, so everybody would come to this Pandit to consult a lot of things. Okay, we do, right? We have something, we feel something is not happening good at home, or say we are facing some problems. We go to the temple, right? We go to the temple, we consult the Pandits there. Okay, because they're always involved in devotional service. We feel that they are they are closer to the God, so they may guide us in this aspect. Okay, and so similarly, these villagers will go to him and take his guidance. They'll take his blessings, right? Because they're always doing all activities involved with God. Okay, so they take his blessings and they say excellent, and they are very happy with what guidance he gives, what blessings he gives, what explanation he gives. Okay, and he quotes everything from Vedanta, and therefore they can consider him to be the most knowledgeable or the greatest learned person in the village. Okay, and so they say that, and then it so happens that, yes, Supreet.
On the other side of the river, there lived a milkmaid called Lakshmi. Lakshmi delivered mild daily milled. What is milled? Milk, right? Yeah.
Milk daily to Pandit. Yes.
Yeah. Every day she would rise early and bath and milk the cows.
Yeah. Okay. So in the same village, there was another lady who had a cow, and she was a milk. She used to deliver milk. Okay, she had a cow, and so with the milk gives her, the cow gives her the milk, and then she used to deliver that milk to the Pandit. Okay, every day she would raise early and bathe and take that milk to the and milk the cow, and then she used to take it to deliver to the Pandit. Okay, yes. Tanish. Yeah,
She
great.
would then feed her sick father. Then she would set out in a boat to supply milk to the Pandit.
Yeah, so once she has bath, she'll milk the cow, and then she used to feed her father also. She used to look after her father. She feeds the father, and then she goes on her every day routine or her livelihood. Okay, she used to deliver the milk to the Pandit. Okay, and then she would set out in the boat to supply the milk to the Panditji. And it so happens on one day, Kartika,
Mataji, can I read?
yeah, after Kartika, yeah.
Namaste, Pandit ji. Oh, Lakshmi, at last you have come. I am waiting for the milk. All right, Pandit ji, I will try my best.
Yeah, so on that day, it so happens that she comes late, okay? Then she says, Namaste Panditji. Then the Pandit will ask, I'm waiting for such a long time for you, and why have you come so late? I want the milk early. He says, as soon as, before the sunrise only, I want the milk, okay? And that day he feels that she has come late, and he instructs her, please get me the milk before the sunrise. And then Lakshmi says, okay, all right, I will try my best, she says, because she has to cross this river and she has to come from the other place. From the other side of the river, she has to come on this side. Okay, so she says, okay, I will try my best and I'll come. Okay, yes. Yeah, read now.
The next morning, she got up early to The next morning, she got up early to finish her work. She came to the river bank before sunrise, but the boatman had still not come. Oh, the sun has started to rise. Panditji will get angry. Finally, the boatman came. Please hurry. I was supposed to take the milk to Panditji before sunrise.
Yeah, because she has to cross the river, no? So every day she comes in this boat, we saw, right? So the next morning again, so because the Pandit had warned her the previous day, okay, he was waiting and then he warned her, I want the milk before the sunrise. And so she tries to come in a hurry and then she finds that boatman is not there. And she waits for him again and then later he comes and then she says, please go back, go fast so that I have to reach the Pandit and give him, deliver this milk because it's already getting late and he has instructed me to supply the milk before the sunrise. So let's see what happens today. Yes. Advik, read.
Hello, Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Sir, I came before sunrise to the river bank, but the boatman was late. Lakshmi, you have come late. The sun has already risen. Why were you late? Don't give me silly excuses. Don't you know who I am? I am the greatest scholar. Better you try getting up early.
Down. Please forgive me,
Please forgive me,
Panditji.
Panditji.
Okay, so the boatman had come late, but then she comes to the Pandit's house to give the milk, and then the Pandit was waiting for her, and then again he's not very happy because she has come late. And he tells her, I asked you to come before the sunrise. Why you have come so late? He'll ask her. And then she says that I had come in time, but the boatman was not available when I came, and then it has become late because the boatman came late. And then the Panditji gets very angry and he says, you cannot give me such excuses, okay? Because I am a learned person and I know that what is happening. Okay, so you are lying to me. That's what he means to say, that you have got up late and you're getting the milk late. Okay, and then the Lakshmi says, no, Pandit, please forgive me. I'll make it up. Or she'll say, yes, next. Yoshita.
People cross the ocean of life simply by chanting the names of Krishna. And you can't even manage a small river. Lakshmi took the advice very seriously. Please forgive me. Tomorrow I shall come before sunrise.
Yeah, okay, so the Pandit tells her, okay, Panditji kept because she's come late, his mood is off, and he in that anger he tells her that people cross the ocean of life simply by chanting the names of Krishna, and you can't even manage a small river. He tells her. And then Lakshmi, because he is the Pandit, right? He's knowledgeable. He's the one who knows Vedanta Sutra, right? And so she has the complete belief. Okay, maybe she believes that whatever he says may be the truth. Okay, and she takes his advice very seriously, and she says, "Please forgive me, and tomorrow I shall come here before sunrise." She says, "Okay," and then let's see what happens today. Anshita.
Panditji, today I have come early. Oh, yes, you have reached before sunrise. I don't see the boat. How did you come?
Yeah.
The way you told me, Panditji.
Yeah, so today she has come very early, and the Panditji is astonished. He's shocked. Okay, see, he's seeing her. She's come so early today, and then he will ask her. Okay, so Pandit told it. She tells the as soon as she sees the Pandit, she tells Pandit, "See, I have come today very early." And then the Pandit says, "Oh yes, you have reached before sunrise. I don't see the boat. How did you come?" She'll ask him, and then she tells him the way you told me, Pandit. Okay, he had told, right, the people cross oceans by chanting the name of the holy name, by chanting holy name, and you say that you can't even manage the river. Okay, and then she gives back. She tells him the same thing. She says, "He was told I chanted his name, and I chanted his name, and I crossed the river, and I came." She says, okay, then yes, Ria,
Yes, Mataji.
yes, great.
She, s- she soon started chanting and walked over the river bank to the opposite bank. Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. See how easy it is, Panditji. Please come here and bless my father and my house. My new silk dhoti will become wet.
Yeah, okay. And so she shows him, she demonstrates what she did. Okay. She soon started chanting and walking over the river back to the opposite bank. She recites Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. And then she crosses the bank, and then she tells the Pandit, she's demonstrating to the Pandit what she did, okay, or how she was able to reach early, okay. And then she's again back to on the other side of the bank. And then she tells the Pandit, okay, Panditji, you also come today, no? You come and bless my, because her father is sick at home, right? She's alone looking after him. And so she says, "Please come to my house. Please come and bless my father also," because the Pandit is supposed to be a very knowledgeable person there who is giving religious guidance to all the people in the village. And so they think that if he comes and blesses her father, it is a good thing that will happen to her. Okay, and again, he told her the previous day, he told her that people are crossing oceans, or they're crossing the ocean of life by chanting the holy name. Aren't you capable of crossing the river? And then she sees that today she was able to, by just reciting Krishna's name, she was able to cross the river. And she's again going back. Okay, and so she gets all the more belief in what the Pandit told. Okay, she faithfully believed what the Pandit, because she really believed that Pandit is knowledgeable. He's a person who knows Vedanta. So what he is advised should be in favor of my good. And she practiced it. And she also believed in Krishna. Okay, she also believed in Krishna, and she put all her focus on Krishna. Okay, and that's why she was able to do it. And then she says, "Please come to my house." She also invites the Pandit, "Please come to my house. Please bless my father." And the Pandit here, instead of, but the Pandit, he told her, he advised her that you're no, I mean, have belief by chanting, you can cross the river. But now when it comes to his turn, he is not able to do it, or he's bothering about. He says, "My new silk dhoti will become wet." Okay, he himself cannot believe what he told. Right, he had advised her in the previous day, and he himself was not able to believe what he told. Okay, and he's bothering about Krishna, but he still makes an attempt to cross the river. Okay, and then yes, next. Supreet.
Yes, say Krishna Panditji and cross over the river. But Panditji was not able to walk on water. He immediately fell in water and got wet. Panditji, you are not thinking of Krishna. You are thinking of your costly silk dhoti and hence you are unable to cross over the river.
Yeah, now Lakshmi gives him back. Okay, she says, okay, say Krishna Panditji and cross over the river. Okay, because that's what he taught her. Okay, and that's what she did, and she was able to do it. Okay, because she believed in what Panditji said. She believed in Krishna, so she was able to do it. But here the Panditji is he advised her, but he had he was more conscious about the clothes that he was wearing, right? But the Panditji was not able to walk on water. He immediately, as soon as she told, he said, I'm my silk dhoti, I'm wearing a silk dhoti today and it's going to become wet. That's what his first thought was on his silk dhoti, rather than, which is a materialistic cloth. Okay, it is going to fade away one day. It's going to it is going to it's not going to last forever, right? It's not a permanent thing. That it's not, the clothes doesn't stay with you for permanently. But he bothered more about the silk cloth. Okay, and then he says, but the Panditji was not able to walk on water. He immediately fell into the water and got wet. Panditji, you are not thinking of Krishna. You are thinking of your costly silk dhoti, and hence you were unable to cross over. You are unable to cross over the river. Okay, and so Lakshmi tells him that, Panditji, you are only thinking about the silk dhoti. You're not thinking about Krishna. That's why you are not able to. And she again witnessed that. She thought about Krishna and she was able to succeed in crossing the river. And now she sees the Pandit is worrying about his silk dhoti and not thinking about Krishna. So she sees that he is unable to cross the river. And then the Panditji says, yes, Kartika.
Yes. Oh, Lakshmi, I was so proud of my learning. That now I know that pure and simple faith like yours is what really counts. God bless you. Moral, faith in Lord can help one overcome impossible situations.
Yes, very good. Okay, and then the Pandit will realize, okay, by just knowledge, by just mere learning or knowledge, nothing is going to happen, but you should have the actual faith. When you have actual faith in Krishna, then everything can, even the impossible thing can be made possible. Okay, so oh Lakshmi, then he understands why it is happening. Okay, because he's already a learned person. He knows, because he already had advised her also that. But only thing is, he had not witnessed that. Okay, today he was able to witness that also, and and he will realize the mistake that he also has done. Okay, and he says, oh Lakshmi, I was so proud of my learning. Now I know that pure and simple faith like yours is what that really counts, and God bless you, he says. Okay, so the pure, it's not how much you know, how much money you have, how much richness you have, or how what all you have. Okay, it is only whether how simple you are, how humble you are, how much of faith you have in the Lord. Okay, how much you uh, count on what you think. Okay, that is very important, because the Pandit to advised her, but when it came to he himself doing it, he did not, his focus was somewhere else. Okay, his focus was on his clothes. He did not focus on Lord Krishna. His focus was on his clothes. He himself could not believe that Lakshmi could do. And it may, I mean, when it came for him to cross, he thought, oh my, I'm wearing a very costly dhoti. It's going to become wet in the cloth. Okay, so if Krishna desires, he can give him 100 of such dhotis. But he did not think about Krishna. He only at that moment he thought about his dhoti, and then he was unable to cross, and he fell into the river, right? And so now he realizes that it's only the pure and simple faith like yours is what really counts, and God will bless. God will always bless you for that. Okay, so the moral of the story is faith in the Lord can help one overcome the impossible situations, right? So how God helped Lakshmi in crossing the river, it is the same way. Okay, so all of you have heard about Dinabandhu story. Yes or no? Can you tell? Can you raise your hand? Nobody? Nobody has. Yoshita. Yeah, Yoshita, can you tell the recite the story quickly?
But I raised a mistake.
Huh?
Ma'am, I raised my hand by mistake.
Okay, you raised your hand by mistake. Okay, okay, fine. Okay, I'll tell the story again in the end. Let's finish with the other story, which is about Narada Muni. Okay, Narada Muni is also one of the transcendental bhakta. Okay, of Lord Narayana. Okay, so he does nothing other than chanting the holy name. He always says Narayana, Narayana for everything. He only calls out his name. He doesn't 24 by 7 on his mind is only Narayana. Okay, and he's a very great mystic sage. Okay, yes. Yes, Riya, read.
Narada Muni is the great mystic sage. Though he lived in an ancient India, the Vedas declared that he still lives today. In fact, he has an eternal body and always traveling throughout material and spiritual worlds, playing with his vina and enjoying joyfully.
Yeah, and he keeps visiting all that is the material world as well as the spiritual world. He keeps visiting. Okay, he keeps communicating things from the material world to the spiritual world. Okay, and Narada Muni is actually Lord Brahma's son, right? Okay, so Narada Muni is a great mystic sage. Though he lived in ancient India, the Vedas declare that he still lives today. In fact, he has an eternal body and always, because he's always chanting, he doesn't know anything other than chanting the holy name of Narayana, right? And so he has an eternal body and always traveling throughout the material world and as well the spiritual world. Okay, so he monitors. He sees what all is happening, and then he keeps telling, informing the God and all that, playing his veena, and with that he always carries his veena, and he's always singing the Lord's songs and singing his glory, and he's only chanting his name. Okay, and yes, Tanish, anybody I didn't call out? I hope I've called everybody, right? Anybody I left?
Naranda is transcendental spiritual spaceman god known as Krishna to followers of Vedas gave
Vedas.
Vedas gave Naranda mystic power to fly everywhere. We may think it is impossible for a person to fly according to the Vedas. However, if we went to one of the many heavenly planets where Naranda goes, we could see people flying in the air. We could also see people traveling in engine-free, swan-shaped airships.
Yeah.
Naranda's duties extend all over the universe. He gives perfect instructions to those who seek spiritual guidance. Krishna, from within Naranda's heart, tells him where to go and whom to help.
Yeah. Okay, I told no, he carries message from the spiritual world to the material world. Okay, so Narada is a transcendental spaceman. Okay, we all have seen, right, the people here from Earth who goes to space. They're always flying there. Okay, we have seen many of the astronauts who go there to study the other planets, who study the moon, who study the Mars, right? We have seen how they live there. Okay, they're not there because there is no gravity there. They're all flying, right? That's the way, and the kind of food they eat is also different. Everything is different in that atmosphere or in that space or in that area. Okay, so Narada is a transcendental. He's a spiritual spaceman, and God knows as Krishna. God knows as Krishna to followers of the Vedas gave Narada the mystic power to fly everywhere. Okay, because he keeps moving from the earth to the from Bhuloka to Goloka and Madhya Loka. Okay, so he keeps traveling on all the seven the locus. Okay, and we may think it is impossible for the person to fly. So according to the Vedas, however, if we went to one of the many heavenly planets where Narada goes, we would see people flying in the air. We would also see people traveling in engine free swan shaped airships, right? We have seen how the Adidevas or they all Indra, when Lord Indra comes, in many of our mythological stories, we have seen how, say, even Ravana, when he travels, he calls his vehicle, okay, when he flies over the sky, when he takes Sitama from the forest, right? He calls his flying chariot and he carries her away from there. Similarly, we have seen in when Gajendra calls for help for Lord Narayana, when Gajendra is in pain, okay, the crocodile is biting his feet, and so he's in severe pain, he's in distress. He has lot of pain, and he calls out for Lord, and God comes on his Garuda, right? We have seen all those in our mythological stories. We have seen, okay, so the same way we'd see people flying in the air, and we would also see people traveling in engine-free and swan-shaped airships. Okay, and then Narada's duty extends all over the universe. Okay, his only duty is that he has to monitor everybody, and he keeps communicating the what God says from the human to God and from God to human. Okay, so he gives perfect instructions to those who seek spiritual guidance. Krishna, from within Narada's heart, tells him where to go and from and whom to help. Okay, and also Krishna gives him the instructions. Okay, whom he should help, what he should advise them, and all that. We also saw in Dhruva Maharaj's story. Okay, where he wants he's looking for a father because. He's looking for a father, and then he's very upset that his father doesn't make him sit or make him sit on the lap, and he was very upset. And then his mother tells him that go, why you call for an eternal father who can be with you forever. Okay, and then he go then he asked his mother, where will I find him? And then she says, go search for him in the forest. And then when he's walking towards the forest, he meets Narada, and Narada tells, you call out for Narayana, he will help you, he'll become your eternal father. And Dhruva Maharaj will seriously take it. He'll seriously take it, and he'll start calling for Narayana. And then after 5 months, Narayana will appear in front of him, and then he says, I want you to be my eternal father. And then he will say, okay, I will make you my eternal son. And he gives him, or he blesses him to be the Dhruva star, right? He always, for eternal, he is there, right? The same way. Okay, so he gives us instruction. So with Narada's help, Dhruva Maharaj was able to get his eternal father, and in turn he became an eternal son also, as God made him the star. Okay, even today we see Dhruva Nakshatra every day in the sky, one of the most brightest shining stars, right? Yes. And then, yeah. Advik,
Hello, Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
About 500 years ago,
5,000 years ago,
5,000 years ago, Narada instructed the ruler of earth, King
Yudhishthira,
Yudhishthira, and told him many stories to
illustrate
illustrate Vedas,
Vedic philosophy,
Vedic,
Vedic philosophy
Vedic philosophy in one such story.
concerning
Concerning
reincarnation.
incarnation,
Narada
Narada explained his own life story of 2 lifetimes ago as follows.
yeah,
Long, long ago, I was born on a
heavenly
planet and my name was
Upa
Upa
Brahman.
Brahmana.
Varham.
I was
I was a Gandharva. I was a Gandharva, an angelic
a
musician.
musician and I would beautify my body with flower garlands and sandalwood perfume to act beautiful woman. But as my popularity grew, I became proud. One day, some demigods, ministers
Of our universe,
invited me to a spiritual festival in which people are praising Lord Krishna. When I arrived,
accompanied by beautiful women,
accompanied by beautiful women, I joined the singing and dancing,
bewildered
bewildered
by my
by
false pride.
false pride. However, I praised some demigods instead of Lord Krishna. You are an
Offender,
offender, declared the demigods,
organizing
organizing the
the
festival.
festival. Angered by
Angered by my
misbehavior,
misbehavior, they crushed me. Without daily, you will be born on earth as the son of a male servant. There you will have neither wealth nor beauty. Upon hearing their curse, I realized my mistake. I had thought that praising the demigods and singing
ordinary songs
ordinary songs were
equal to
glorifying Lord Krishna. And also I fell to earth.
yeah, very good. Okay, so this is about 5,000 years ago. Narada instructed the ruler of earth, okay, that is King Yudhishthira, and told him many stories that illustrate Vedic philosophy. Okay, and in one such, he tells about his own story. Okay, because the story is on faith. Okay, he's talking about faith in Krishna. Okay, so long ago, I was born on a heavenly planet, and my name was Barhana, and I was a Gandharva, an angelic musician, and I would beautify my body with flower garlands. Okay, he used to wear, or if you see Narada, he'll be wearing a garland. He'll have flowers on his hands and on his neck, and then on his head also. He would have put a knot. He would have tied up his hair, and surrounding the knot of his hair also, he would have put garland. If you see him, okay, I think, yeah, you can see here. There will be flowers here also in this drawing. It is not there, but he'll be wearing a garland. He'll have a flower here, and then even across his knot, he'll be wearing. Okay, every day he adorns himself like that. And he says, I was a Gandharva and an angelic musician. I would beautify my body with flower garlands, sandalwood perfume, and to attract beautiful women. But as my popularity grew, I became proud. Okay, he's because he plays a veena. Okay, he plays the musical instrument veena, and he also dances. Okay, he becomes popular among all of them, and because of that popularity, it happens to us also, right? Like many people start knowing us, we become proud. Okay, we think we have achieved something, so many people know us. Okay, and so we become proud of ourselves. Okay, the same way Narada was proud of himself. One day, such demigod invited me to the spiritual festival in which people are praising Lord Krishna. And when I arrived, accompanied by beautiful women, I joined the singing and dancing. Bewildered by my false pride, however, I praised some demigod instead of Lord Krishna. You are an offender, declared the demigod organizing the festival. Angered by my misbehavior, they cursed me. Without delay, you will be born on earth as the son of a maid servant. There you will have neither wealth nor beauty. Upon hearing this curse, I realized my mistake. I had thought that praising the demigods and singing ordinary songs are equal to glorifying Lord Krishna. And so I fell to earth. Okay. And it so happens that one day, because he sings very nicely, he's so charming, and he always glorifying the Lord Narayana or Krishna. The demigod will invite him for some festival, and they will ask him. I mean, they will ask him to join for the kirtan, and then he'll end up saying something else, and then the demigods will be angry with him, and they curse him that you will be born in the earth as a son of a maid, and you will not have any wealth, nor you'll have any beauty. Okay, and then he realizes what mistake he did, and then
Mataji,
yes,
what is beloved?
bewildered is to be I mean, I told, right? You are very proud, and it will mask your head. Okay, it mask your thoughts. Okay, you are in a different state of mind. You are in a state of mind to be in a state of mind of being very proud of yourself. Bewildered is to be out of not the normal way. Okay, you are in a different
So,
state of mind. Okay, yeah. Say it can be here it is in terms of bewildered by my false pride. Okay, you can be bewildered by when you're very sorrowful, you will be bewildered. Okay, when you're very happy, say I get some gold medal today, I'm very happy and I'm in that mood. Okay, I'm not in my controlled mind. Okay, I am in a different uncontrolled mind. You go to that state, that is called as being bewildered. Okay, so according to the Vedas, there is life after death. When the body dies, the eternal soul, which is a person's real identity within the body, continues its existence in another body. Just as the actors constantly incarnating in different bodies, these include animal bodies too. Very few people remember what body they had in their previous life, but Narada was an exception. By the special grace of Lord Krishna, he remembered his last two lives. Immediately after the demigods cursed him, Upabarhana was born as on earth as a son of a maidservant. And Narada told the story of his adventure in that life to his disciple Srila Vyasadeva as as follows. So he will tell him, okay, so we all don't remember because our body is the soul in us, okay, keeps moving from one body to another body, right? Uh, when we die, okay. So according to the Vedas, there is life after death. When body dies, the eternal soul, which is a person's real identity, the soul is our real identity, okay, within the body, continues its existence to another body, so just as the actors constantly incarnating in different bodies. These include animal bodies too. Very few people remember what body they had in their previous life, but Narada was an exception. Okay, so he remembers his previous body, what happened, what life he had, and all that. So today he will, because of the curse that the demigod told, he will be born, he'll be born in a maid servant's house. Narada told the story of his adventure to his disciple, Vyasadeva. Okay, and he tells that. Born on earth as the son of a maid servant, my mother and I lived in a small farmhouse. When I was about 4 years old, my mother allowed some spiritual teachers, Brahmins, to stay at our house during the 4 month rainy season. Those sages were known as Bhakti Vedantas, an elevated title awarded to those who fully understand that pure love and devotion to God. Lord Krishna is the conclusion of all the Vedas. Okay, so he'll be born, and one day it so happens that they'll be living in a very small farmhouse, and when he was a 4 year boy, okay, his mother will invite some of the Brahmins, okay, during the rainy season. She invites them, and those sages were known as Vedantas, an elevated title awarded to those who fully understand that pure love and devotion to God. And Lord Krishna is the conclusion of all Vedas. Okay, and we gave them, and they also give them a warm and respectful welcome. During their stay, these great sages taught me many things about spiritual life, and for that reason, I eagerly served them. Although I was just a child, I only spoke of for their services, and I never allowed my attention to be distracted, nor even to play. Okay, so he becomes a fool because they tell him a lot of. They teach him, give him a knowledge of the spiritual life. Okay, he starts serving them. Okay, and he doesn't get distracted. As a child, he doesn't get distracted because when you're a child, you want to play. You don't want to sit in a place and learn things, right? You always want to be playful. But Narada in this life, it did not happen because he had come there to understand the significance of the Lord. He was learning, or he was destined to learn a spiritual life. Okay, and so once I asked and received permission to eat the remnants of their prasadam, the pure vegetarian food first, offered to God with special devotion prayers known as the mantras. The sages explained that by eating prasadam, one's body and mind becomes purified. I also learned that prasadam left by great saints contain extra spiritual power. After eating the remnant of their prasadam, my natural spiritual knowledge was awakened, and all the bad reactions of my past misdeeds were destroyed. The Vedas state that by violating God's scriptures law, one receives a reaction of punishment from the law of nature. And it so happens that when you eat the spiritual prasadam, okay, you are always blessed. Okay, the pure vegetarian food first offered to the God with special devotional prayers known as the mantras. Okay, that is where it will purify your body, it will purify your mind. Okay, Narada learns that, and he also learned that by eating. Okay, though because the spiritual masters who came to his house, okay, they are were so elevated souls because they're giving him the knowledge of spiritual life. Okay, so even eating their prasadam or their leftover prasadam also will give you a blessing. Okay, he learned that. And then while developing my love for God in that way, I began to perceive that the soul is infinitely more important than the body and the mind. I saw that in reality, my physical body and subtle mind were merely the temporary material covering on me, an eternal soul. Those wise sages explained that I was becoming enlightened. After the rainy season, just before those great saints left, they advised me, listening daily to Krishna's mysterious adventures, Vedic philosophies is the process by which you will soon understand how God is ultimate controller, why he is the greatest object of devotion, and he is the true friend of everyone. As I watched them slowly disappear, I felt sad, yet I also felt assured. I knew that their spiritual teaching would always remain in my heart. Okay, the masters who had come to the spiritual masters who had come, or the sadhus, Bhakti Vedantas who had come. Okay, Bhakti Vedanta, Bhakti is devotion. Vedantas means who know a lot of philosophy on bhakti. Okay, so one so they advised him. Okay, so you have to by their advice or the knowledge that he got from them, he realizes that the soul is very important, and it is more important than your body and your mind also. And he sees that in reality, my physical body and subtle mind were merely the temporary material covering on me, an eternal soul. And those wise sages explained that I was becoming enlightened. So after the rainy season, just before those saints left, okay, they advised me, listening daily to Krishna's mysterious adventures and Vedic philosophy is the process by which you will soon understand how God is ultimately controller and why he is the greatest object of devotion. And he is the true friend of everyone. Like how now every Sunday you are trying to attend and trying to gain some knowledge on the faith on Krishna and how he controls everything and all that. Okay, that's how slowly you have to. So when you can have faith or when you can have belief, only when you constantly make an effort to understand things. Okay, so even in spiritual life, it is like this, you have to make a constant attempt to understand God, to know His power, to realize His strength, and to also realize His blessings. When you constantly think about Him, he in turn blesses you for everything. Okay, so it is only an experience that it can be felt. Okay, so you will slowly understand his experience when you go near to him. Okay, so as I watched them slowly disappear, I felt sad, yet I also felt assured. I knew that their spiritual teaching would always remain in my heart. Okay, so Narada also felt sad. Okay, but he was able to overcome it because they gave him the Bhakti Vedantas gave him the knowledge that they gave him the knowledge that he was able to overcome, and he also knew that the teaching was always with him. Okay, and today's activity time is you have to color this picture. Okay, so this will be shared with you. The PDF of this will be shared with you. And yes, I want all of you to mark your attendance also. Let me share. Did you like the story?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah, I'm sharing the attendance form. Kindly fill it. Yeah. All of you can see the Google form. All of you fill. I have shared the Google form for attendance. All marked your attendance. Just raise your hand who all are marked. Advait, Kriya, Krish, Kartika, Yoshita.
But it says that if I click that link, then I have to leave the Zoom meeting.
Hanshita. What happened, Krish? You're not able to mark?
The link, then I'll have to leave the Zoom meeting.
Or you have to leave the Zoom meeting, is it? No, it'll open on another browser. It'll open on another browser. Just click the link. Just click the link. It'll take you to another browser.
Yeah, click the link, but it says in order to open that, I'll have to leave this meeting.
No, you don't have to leave the meeting. You just have to, it'll open up in on another browser.
It is
Even
opening
if you leave,
yeah,
it's
it
better.
is opening it up in a different browser. But in that browser, it said that I have to leave this.
Okay, fine. Anyway, the class is it's ended. Okay. So,
Mataji,
Hare Krishna, we can all meet next week. Yes.
Mataji,
Yes.
before I was not informed that we had the NRI batch. I was only informed this week, so I joined it. But what had we done before? And is there any separate group for NRI?
No, the 6 a.m. batch is for NRI only, right?
Yeah, but is there any separate group?
It's a combined class. No. Today it is some combined class only. It's a 6 a.m. class.
Sure. Thank you.
Yeah.
Mataji,
Yes.
where you will send this meetings recording? Where you will send?
Meeting like recording will be shared in the Telegram group only.
Okay, ma'am.
Yes. Okay, Hare Krishna to all of you. Please do enter your attendance. We'll meet next time. Okay, Hare Krishna.